Hi, my name is Michael Hendricks and I'm the Director of Sales Engineering for Hikvision USA, and I wanted to give a quick IP camera comparison today. Today we're going to be talking about three different series of camera product. First, our value series, the second being the performance series, and finally the third, our professional or smart series of camera product. Now, the value series is known as the 2 series of camera product. It is our entry-level, most budget-friendly version of a camera. For our performance series, this is our second-generation Acusense, or the PCI series. It's named the PCI series because PCI is the beginning of its part number. This is definitely the most cost-effective and project-ready type of camera product. And for the DeepinView series, this is our second generation, actually, DeepinView. We also refer to this as the IDS 7 series camera product, as it is more of that intelligent digital surveillance product. As we look to compare each one of these series today, we will actually talk about some similarities as well. So first, the similarities within the product series or within each one of these series is going to be the housing types. Now, we do have 3 different housings here, but several different housings exist within each one of the series. So we do have mini bullets, long bullets, we have indoor domes or outdoor domes, and even turrets. Don't forget the turrets, those are the most popular. So these different housings exist within the different series, so that you can actually see those different housings. Another thing about the housings is the ratings that they have. There's different ratings that would talk about maybe vandal resistance, right? The vandal resistance level, or IK10, versus an ingress protection level, which is whether dust or water can get into the camera, like IP66 or IP67. So those ratings exist within all of the camera series. Now, there is one special part about the rating within the housing. In the IDS 7 series, we actually talk about an anti-corrosion housing. And so this is a special paint or could be put on the camera itself for those harsh environments where corrosive chemicals, salt, or moisture is in the air. So if you're looking for a camera to be installed in that type of environment, then you'll want to choose the IDS 7 series. Let's talk about the different resolutions. So the different resolutions in the cameras also exist within the series. We have anywhere from 2 megapixel to 8 megapixel in the value series. For the Acusense Generation 2, we have 2, 5, and 8 megapixel resolutions. And for the IDS 7 series, we feature 4 megapixel and 12 megapixel resolution. When we also look to compare a camera, we're going to look to compare how they perform in different lighting conditions. And so each one of these performs a little bit different, has a little bit different hardware inside for the daytime and the nighttime. All of them and all of the series do have IR lights. So in the nighttime, if you needed a black and white image, you can use the IR. So all of the series do have that. When we look at the second generation Acusense or PCI series, this features a powered by darkfighter technology, which is an increased sensor size and allows us to create a color image and get color detail in a lower light condition. And when we move into the IDS 7 series, this DeepinView series camera is the darkfighter technology and has the darkfighter technology, which is increasing the sensor size again and providing a color image in even lower lighting conditions. So it again, a good, better, and best quality when you're looking at nighttime image. We can think the same in the daytime, good, better, and best, where we have the performance level. In high contrast lighting environments during the day, we feature WDR. So WDR of 120 on both of these series. When we get to the DeepinView series, we feature a WDR rating of 140, which is going to perform better than that of the standard or true 120 dB level. And now that's for the high contrast lighting environments. When we also need to consider light changing environments and its capability to adjust to changing light conditions. So for the value series, we have a fixed iris lens, which is great for that constant lighting environment or slowly changing lighting environment. When we move into the Acusense Generation 2 cameras, we feature a auto iris lens, which is much more adaptable to changing light conditions and can adjust more rapidly. And we also see an auto iris lens as well as an additional P-iris mounting type for the lens on the DeepinView series camera. So this actually is a higher performing in those lighting changes and lighting conditions, but it also allows us to keep better focus or depth of field in the front and back of the objects to make sure that everything stays in focus during those change in lighting conditions. So another thing we're going to talk about during this comparison is the comparison of the different analytic capabilities. So the value series has a standard analytic capability, motion detection, line crossing, intrusion zone. When we get into the Acusense Generation 2, we are actually featuring a target classification. So this is using the analytic, but also allowing us to classify different objects within the scene as humans or vehicles. We call this false alarm filtering. So we can actually filter out the different events that happen by human and vehicle and send those alerts only when they are humans and vehicles. This analytic or this filtering capability or classification capability can be done on the motion detection side as well, which greatly increases the capability of the playback. So if an end user is using the camera or viewing the video and they want to do the playback, we can now do a quick target search for human and vehicle events or filter out by human and vehicle events during the video, and which makes searching the video much more efficient overall. And we can really focus on the targets that matter, the car that was missing or the person that we want to see. Now, we do also feature the same type of target classification within the DeepinView series. Now, the performance of the Acusense Generation 2 can filter out up to 90% of the false alarms. When we get into the performance of the false alarm filtering for the DeepinView, we are looking at a 95% false alarm filtering rate. And so this is, again, for that advanced perimeter protection, target classification, where we can filter out human and vehicle events. But what's great about the IDS-7 series is that it has 6 additional analytics and 6 additional modes that it can actually operate in. So one of those modes being an attribute mode. This basically will allow the user to search video by the clothing color, the top or shorts, pants, whether they're carrying a backpack, if they have glasses, or carrying an object. So all of these things are definitely, one of those modes being attribute mode can really help us to add and search video more effectively. Another mode we have is that attribute-based people counting mode. This people counting mode can be used in that retail environment or any location where we want to monitor occupancy level. And essentially this people counting mode keeps track of who enters and leaves. And when we add the attribute-based people counting to the mode, then we can actually determine if that customer is a repeat customer or not, helping us with that business intelligence data as well to see if it's an employee or more that they enter and leave constantly during the day. Another operating mode for the IDS-7 series is the queue analysis mode. And again, we think of queue as a line or a place where people would line up at a register, a restaurant, grocery store, etc. The queue itself, we can monitor the number of people that are in a queue. And then at a certain number, we can alert the business that they need to maybe open a different register. or we can tell how long the person's been standing there. This is also a functionality that when they've been standing there long enough, we could alert that they've been waiting too long. So this adds additional business intelligence to the environment. We also see that the time or the time that a person spends in an area could also be loitering. And so we can use that analytic for the loitering. When we look at, there's also another difference in performance between the series is a mode called EPTZ mode. Now the EPTZ mode does not exist in the value series. When we get into the Acusense Generation 2, we do have an EPTZ mode. And this allows us to move around digitally within the field of view. So we can focus our attention on the details that matter or the areas that matter. Even setting a patrol to, look at the door or look at the sidewalk, whatever it happens to be, to make sure that we're gaining more detail that we need. The same EPTZ mode exists in the DeepinView, but we've gone one step further. And this also features auto tracking within EPTZ. So this can auto track a human or vehicle object within the EPTZ mode and start to follow the person or vehicle as they walk through the scene. So this digitally zooms in a little bit more and gains more detail out of the object we're looking at for better clarification or identification or even forensic needs. And one of the last things I wanted to talk about today was the comparison between its capability to integrate with third-party applications or third-party servers. So the value series does not really feature anything beyond the standard stream of video, where the Acusense Generation 2 adds some additional metadata to the video, like the target ID for human and vehicle, and that can enhance that third-party application. And then, of course, the IDS 7 series camera product adds additional identification or metadata to the video, like clothing color or backpack, as well as target identification or date, time, motion detection areas, and additional analytics. So it's fully compatible with those, or much more high compatibility with those third-party applications. And one last topic that I wanted to talk about, something that we feature in our Acusense Generation 2 or our PCI series, is what I like to call an active deterrent. This is actually a strobe light, and there happens to be a speaker on the bottom here. And so when a target is classified as a human or vehicle, we could flash a light and play an audible message. And that could help maybe deter a criminal from vandalizing or theft on the property. So that is a special function that we see within the Acusense Generation 2 camera product. And that about wraps it up for today. Thank you for joining me for the IP camera comparison. Now, we have made an IP camera comparison chart for you. The link may be in the description below or somewhere on the video. And if you're looking for any additional information on any of the products that you heard today or any of the technologies, you can always go to hikvision.com for more information. Thank you.